But trust is so big and so important in relationship, we have to put it in context. There's one of the scriptures I'll pull out is Micah 7. And it says very clearly, it says, put no trust in a neighbor. That's like, whoo. It goes even further, it says, have no confidence in a friend. I told you, you know what I'm saying? Like, there it is. Ammo. To live in your silo. To never be pushed. To have healthy relationships. Because there it is. It's okay. To never put yourself under anybody's leadership because you don't want to put your trust in any man. I don't have to, right? Guard your doors of your mouth from her who lies in your arms. For the son treats the father with contempt. The daughter rises against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. In context, what's happening here is that the government and the people start to go evil in this time of Micah. The people started to be evil to the core. They were living a lifestyle of sin. Not a person like, man, I repent. Lord, forgive me for my sinful behaviors. I've fallen into sin. Lord, I'm sorry. No, having a lifestyle. The government, the people, throughout, in this context, cultural context, that everybody was living a life of sin. Everybody around them. Everybody. So when it goes to, in terms of being a community, if you research community, real community in the Bible, when you look at it in the early times, when they had community around each other, when they would eat together, this seemed like, man, what do you mean I'm not supposed to sit down with the great teachers? And I'm not supposed to sit down with the priests and sit down with these guys that explain the scriptures to me? I'm not supposed to do that? I'm not supposed to confide in them? I'm not supposed to get some advice from them? The problem is, and the context is that we're not supposed to put our trust in people that do not have committed relationships with the God of the universe. They ain't got jack to give you. I don't care if it's your mama. I know, give me the emails, I'm with it. Who's my mother? My brother, but those who do the will of my Father. I honor my mother. I honor my father. I do. My parents are Christians now. Man, that's the greatest thing ever, by the way. To see your mama live a life of destruction, and the man I call my daddy, not my biological father, but the man who raised me, to see them shack up for 30 years. To see them live a life of destruction, not honoring God. Then I moved to town, and they give me the mercy visits to church, Kyle. They come by because they son have a church, and like I'm playing baseball or something. Go try. You know what I'm saying? Like, and go, and they visiting, checking it out. But then they get a hook, and it ain't Troy. And it's nothing like leading your parents to Jesus Christ. And then there's nothing like when your parents are getting money, because my sister's dad died and left my mom money. He was in the military. What happens is if you get married, then that money gets cut off. So she became codependent on that money and not dependent on the God of the universe. Getting codependent on it, and she was like, man, I don't want to let this money go. If I get married to this man who I love, get married to him, then they're going to shut it down. Ain't nothing like marrying your mama. Nothing like it. But I'll tell you, there was a time my mother, my dad, when they weren't married, they came to Detroit. They came to Detroit, knocking on my door. This man is like there was no other person greater than this guy in the planet. I believe this dude can do anything. They come knocking on my door, Jorah. Hey, we're here and we're coming to visit. We're gonna stay tonight. Mama, Dad, y'all ain't married. Y'all can't stay up in here. I said, wants to go. I love you. Probably some of the hardest words I ever said in my life. So they come back later and say, I remember that day when you stood for something. Proud of you, son. We're not supposed to put trust in having relationships and putting our trust in people. A foundation of any relationship, a trust. You're incapable of being trustworthy without Jesus Christ. We are incapable of being trustworthy without the God of the universe because of our brokenness, our depravity. There's sin, there's a seed of sin in our belly. There's giving birth one day to death if we're not converted and we have not given our lives to the Lord of the universe. Let me bring this home. It's like a cat that you are in relationship with cannot be trustworthy if they don't have a relationship, a committed relationship with Jesus Christ. You can only trust them as far as you can throw them. You think you're at your job and you got your huddle of people that you've been working with for the last 5 years. You think you're all good and you're doing your gossip thing. You're doing all this stuff. But they don't have Jesus Christ. You can't trust them as far as you can throw them. And then you get so angry and mixed up like, why me? Why this happen? Because they don't have anything that makes them trustworthy. I know that's harsh. But it's the reality. Without God in the center of our lives, none of us, we all sit empty, hollow, not trustworthy, not worthy of somebody coming and bring. And I never guess. I'll tell when I get around young ladies and I get around, I say, I couldn't wait until I pastor a larger church or do something and get some people around, and so I can quit just pointing at Christine all the time about like, man, here's a woman that's holding it down, that's keeping her legs shut. I want my bit. Yes, you can take Tony and Aaron anywhere. Because you're trustworthy. You're trustworthy. Because there's something, it's not you. You just screwed up as I am. But the thing that's working inside of you, the God that's inside of you, makes you, it's like a mirage, makes you look trustworthy. Question I might ask is, are you trustworthy? If a man was to release his daughter to you, can he trust you? That you would love her as Christ loved the church. those of you that heal slowly, you're going to have a problem with trust. You know, you get wounded and you stay wounded. We don't have the luxury. We got to be like, you know what I'm saying, like Wolverine up in this piece. We got to be the place, because, oh man, who was that? Raymond, I think he told me, it was like, I was having problems forgiving my sister. You know what I'm saying? He was like, and I'll tell my business. Like, I had problem forgiving my sister. I didn't like my sister. No joke. You know what I'm saying? Back then, when he went to her funeral, she died. I mean, it was like that. You know what I'm saying? My brother, just came to me. He's like, you ever thought about like the forgiveness 7 times 70? I think what is that? What it says? Like 7 times 70 or whatever. Right, whatever. He said, you ever thought about that? And this dude, man, he was about 22 or whatever. You know, I'm his pastor. I'm his, you know what I'm saying? I've been his physical trainer. You know what I'm saying? I'm all this. And I'm like, no, what are you thinking? He's like, you know, in order for you to forgive him 7 times 70, that means you have to let him back in your life. That means you have to open up so you can forgive again. You might have to get hurt again to be forgiven again, to forgive them again. Those of us that heal very slowly, you're going to have a really big problem with trust. You're not going to trust anybody because you're still hurt from the last 14 things. You're still hurting from those. And so then when the right relationship, the right person, the right brother, the right sister, the right whatever comes your way, you're going to miss it because I'm still healing and you ain't getting in. You're not getting in. I've been hurt. And I don't trust nobody. You have 200 people out to kill you on a daily basis. And you talk to me about trust. I've been there. I didn't trust nobody. I just got to a place where I sit to the door with my back, not like trying to. It's a mental thought pattern, like somebody out to kill me, jumping up in the middle of the night, thinking my wife out to kill me. She had to stop me, calm me down. Trust me, I get it. Sitting in a dark room for months, sweating. I get it. I know what hers looks like. Oh man. Through the God of the universe invading my life, invading Troy Anthony Evans and pushing me aside, say, man, you better learn how to forgive. You better let go of your bitterness. You better let go of your self-centeredness. If you don't, you're going to lose everything because you're not going to be able to love that wife as Christ loved the church because you don't know how to forgive.